180,000 people have been ordered to leave their homes around Los Angeles as 5 fires continue to burn, 2 of them completely uncontained. This is what the flames are leaving behind. Entire neighborhoods completely destroyed, everything gone. Only the charred remains of trees have been left standing. The first fire to erupt was on Tuesday in the Pacific Palisades neighborhood. It is the largest fire and it is still out of control. It spread rapidly. Look at how fast it moved in just 5 hours. It now covers more than 17,000 acres of land. That blaze alone is now one of the most destructive natural disasters in the history of LA. There are still 5 fires alight around the city. Firefighters say 2 of them, the Palisades and Hearst fires, are still 0% contained. And you can see from this time-lapse of the Palisades fire just how quickly it spread, fanned by hurricane-force winds. And this, another neighbourhood, Altadena, this satellite imagery shows the homes and buildings, street after street, completely engulfed. 5 people are known to have died, but the LA sheriff says that number will rise. Our correspondent, Emma Vardy, is there.
Well, fire crews are now into a 3rd day of fighting these fires on multiple fronts. The good news is the wind has dropped. The weather is calmer today, so some of the fire's growth has been slowed down, but still the largest blazes have not been brought under control. And we now know that large parts of this city will never look the same again. The scale of this disaster is clear to see. Block after block, a blanket of destruction. More than 1,000 buildings burned in this community alone. And still they burn, the most catastrophic fires Los Angeles has ever seen. Overnight, the Hollywood Hills resembling a disaster movie, a huge crescent of flame engulfing an iconic community of California. More than 130,000 people have been told to evacuate their homes. Here, just one of many properties engulfed, turned to a shell.
A lot of the stories of heroic actions by our deputy sheriffs, police officers, or firefighters, a lot of them are taking place from people who did not choose to evacuate, putting their own lives at risk. So please, if you're asked to evacuate, evacuate, because it's not only your life you're putting in danger.
At least 5 major fires have been burning across Los Angeles County. The scale and spread has stretched firefighting crews on the ground and in the air. 16,000 acres and counting consumed by the inferno.
Copy that.
Fueled by hurricane-force winds, these fires have struck at a vulnerable time. LA hasn't seen any significant rainfall for months.
Currently, we're at the Palisades fire, which is a very dynamic, fast-moving brush fire. I'm looking out the window here, and wind gusts are still 50 to 70 miles an hour, headed right to the ocean and kind of turning back around and headed right up the canyon. There's embers flying 1.5 to 2 miles ahead of the fire, with a 75% chance that that would ignite a new fire. So they were caught in a very difficult situation.
As dawn came in the Palisades, it revealed the grim reality of what the fire has left behind. There are miles and miles of streets like this, an utter shock at the devastation here. Communities just vanished, now ghost towns, and once dream homes turned to dust. No one is immune. Mansions now ash. The homes of Jennifer Aniston, Rihanna, Adam Sandler and Paris Hilton among those evacuated. The scale of destruction has upended life in Los Angeles, and this ravaged city is braced for more.
Emma Vardy, and we will be speaking to Emma live later in the programme. Well, the Pacific Palisades on the west coast, or the west side of the city, is where the blaze started. Thousands of buildings have been destroyed in the hills between Santa Monica and Malibu. John Sudworth is there, and he has been speaking to some of those affected.
Late into the night, we watch one of America's wealthiest neighborhoods burn. The flames so intense, the fire crews are powerless to stop them. So if I very quickly take my mask off, the air is absolutely thick with smoke. The fire crews here tell us they have a shortage of water, and in many instances they're having to stand and watch these properties burn. It is a losing battle. They're using what little they have sparingly, trying to contain the spread. Defying the evacuation orders, some residents are defending their own homes. With all the surrounding properties burning, I helped Tony and his neighbours scooping water out of the swimming pool and dousing the flames at their boundary.
Since 1993, I've seen a couple fires, but nothing like this. I wouldn't see this in my nightmare.
I never thought it would come through here.
David was hoping his home might have survived. But the whole neighbourhood has gone. And with it, his house too.
I would have thought I'd be seeing more planes flying over with water. I mean, there appears to be just 2. I mean, in California, are there not like 20 or 30 of them that they could have got you already? I would have thought the firemen would like take a stand on a certain area. Maybe they did, and I'm just not seeing it, but...
Wealth and privilege are no protection from this disaster, with the ordinary human defences rendered futile in the face of its devastating force.
Well, the fires have swept through neighbourhoods home to film, television and music stars. Anthony Hopkins lost his multi-million-dollar mansion. The actor Billy Crystal lost his home where he'd lived since 1979. Some celebrities have been taking to social media to describe what has happened to them.
Sitting here and waiting to find out whether we're going to be evacuated or not is... It's like the time can't go by any slower. Yes, baby, come here, Baba. So instead, we decided to pass the time by putting together bags of clothes for our friends who have lost everything.
Okay, we found everyone. We are packing up the car, getting ready to go to the hotel. It's so big, it's so red. My thoughts and prayers are with everyone tonight.
I have never seen flames from my house like this, ever. This is insanity. I hope everyone is staying safe tonight.
Well, let's go back to Emma Vardy, who is there in Los Angeles. And Emma, the authorities have been saying today that the tide could be turning, but the situation is still very perilous.
That's right, there is some new hope, but we're certainly not out of the danger zone yet. And with so many neighbourhoods that have had to be abandoned, a new issue arising in the middle of this crisis is looting. Police say that there are criminals going into abandoned neighbourhoods, looting homes that haven't been so badly destroyed. There's been 20 arrests for looting. They've stepped up patrols in affluent areas, places like this in Malibu, where people have had to leave their homes, and say they'll be clamping down on this. And another issue too is price gouging. Businesses being warned not to put their prices up, hotels being told don't spike your rates while there is a spike in demand in the middle of this crisis. Now, this crisis is very much still being fought on the ground, but already the political finger pointing has also begun. There are questions over cuts to fire service budgets, questions over the way California has managed its resources to be prepared for a natural disaster like this. And in due course, thoughts will return to the recovery process, which is going to be a long one because so much of this city is very much changed forever. But in terms of the danger, we're not out of the woods yet.
Emma Vardy, for now, thank you. We'll be speaking to you again at the end of the programme. And just to say that there is a BBC News special on the Los Angeles fires at 7 p.m. tonight. You can watch all the latest on BBC Two, on the BBC News channel, and you can also find it on the BBC's iPlayer.